I'm back. Now I know it's been a long time coming, and first of all I apologize for this video being laggy. The audio might be a little bit off. I do apologize for that, but as of now, due to my webcam screwing up,
that's why I haven't made a video in well over a week. This might be a little bit off, so please guys, bear with me. This is just temporarily. I'm gonna get it fixed soon. I don't know when, but soon. Trust me, it's always happens. So, anyways, as you can see by the title, this is my SummerSlam pay-per-view predictions, and real quick, people ask me, oh, what did you think of TNA's Hardcore Justice? That was a pretty good pay-per-view. I enjoyed it. And I'm sure some of you think, oh, what do you think of Raw lately? I thought this past week's episode of Raw, I know a lot of people hated it. For me, I enjoyed it because of the hype. I thought it did good build-up for the pay-per-view. Sure, one match more than another. I'll get to that later. But we all know what it is. It's SummerSlam. I'm willing to give it a chance. The big four pay-per-views, as a lot of people will call it. So, again, I'm giving it a chance. So, let's kick it off, shall we? The pre-show match. Antonio Cesaro versus Santino Marella. For the United States Championship. And to me, I can see WWE, having Santino keep the belt. If I was them, I would not do it, and here's the reason why. Santino hasn't done jack, hasn't done anything practically since, having that belt, really. And he's had it for quite some time now. It's been a while. And, at least with Antonio Cesaro, he's beaten a guy like, he's beaten Santino quite a number of times on SmackDown. So it makes sense if WWE would be like, alright, let's have Antonio Cesaro, a different guy, a younger guy, have a mid-card title like that. And maybe, it'd be interesting to see, give a young guy a chance, give Antonio Cesaro a chance, And plus he has his little eye candy, Vaxana, Teddy Long. Not Teddy Long, it's Antonio Cesaro. Maybe she can help him, him being the heel, she can help him, win matches by cheating, you get what I'm saying? So, anyways, you have that. But I think Santino probably will win it. I do want Antonio Cesaro to win, but I can see Santino winning. So then we got the Tag Team Championships on the line. Kofi Kingston and R-Truth versus the Primetime Players. Now, it's kind of interesting how, I think it was like a month ago, around a month ago, both these teams had their own managers, actually, no, excuse me, R-Truth and Kofi Kingston didn't have a manager, excuse me, but, we had the Rosa Mendez was with the, Primo and Epico, but she hasn't been on TV in a while due to her, situation. And, we all know about AW. Everyone's saying, oh, we want AW back. And I do admit it's stupid letting him go for one little joke type of deal, but it is what it is, They want to save Vince McMahon. Well, I hope the guy loses. But anyway, back to this match. Primetime Players without AW versus Kofi Kingston and R-Truth. If WWE is, to me, I'd actually let WWE, AW, Primetime Players win this match. And the reason why is Kofi Kingston and R-Truth, they've done an okay job with the tag titles, I think. But I think the Primetime Players, let's face it, compared to Kofi Kingston and R-Truth, they're a real tag team. They have this practically the same attire, they come out in the same music, the entrance, They did have the whole manager thing, but so, I don't know, maybe Vicky could manage them, maybe another client for Vicky. Now that she no longer has services of a guy like a Swagger, she could manage, Primetime Players, who, if they do win this tag team match, be like, oh, I'm managing both the tag team champions and the guy who's a future, possibly world champion, Dolph Ziggler. You know what I mean? So, to me, I'm going to go out in a limb and say the Primetime Players are going to win this. I could see Kofi Kingston and R-Truth, but, to me, it makes more sense if you have the Primetime Players. So then, I look on Twitter, and I see good old AJ tweets that at SummerSlam, my boy The Miz is going to be taking on Rey Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship.
Now, ever since Miz's comeback, it's been kind of an interesting comeback for him. He came back after filming The Marine. You know, he loses several matches. He gets I'm gonna lie, a random match against Christian on the 1000th episode of Raw. Beats him, and everyone's thinking, oh, maybe this could be a big push for The Miz. But ever since that, The Miz has been losing matches, so it's like, what the hell? And, you know, Rey Mysterio's come back. He's practically, I think, won every match except for one match in particular, and I think that one match he lost was against, you know, CM Punk, but, you know, this could be a pretty good match, you know? And, should be interesting, I honestly think. And this kind of has some build-up to it, that's another thing. Some of these matches do have build-up, you know, Santino into Cesaro, that does have some build-up. Tag team match has some build-up. This kind of has a little bit of build-up, because Mysterio beat The Miz, like, I think like a couple weeks ago, so kind of makes sense. But, to me, you know, you keep The Miz with the title. He just got it, like, a few weeks ago. You know, let him keep the belt for a while, maybe about a month or two, a title reign, and then you give it to somebody else. You know, and surprisingly, let me ask you guys something. Why isn't Randy Orton on this card? I know a lot of people dislike Randy Orton, Randall Keith Orton, you know, because people still have a grudge over the whole, oh, he killed Mr. Anderson's push, and he got fired, and then he killed Kofi's push, and I understand that, but where is Randy Orton? He's off his suspension. It's been about, what, a month since he came back? Where is he? Why isn't he on his card? He's probably gonna have a random match against like a Jack Swagger or someone, but you know, just curious. Anyways, so then you got everyone's favorite. No, I'm just kidding. You got Daniel Bryan, Mr. No now, versus Kane. Now this is, you know, this kind of reminds me of last year's match between Daniel Bryan and Wade Barrett. You know, a big guy versus Daniel Bryan. The crowd wasn't into it, you know. But, you know, this is actually an interesting, got a little feud going. You know, it's mainly Daniel Bryan and AJ, but, you know, of course AJ's right in the middle of it type of deal because, you know, she both, you know, at one point was dating. You know, she was, you know, engaged to Daniel Bryan, left her at the altar, and then, you know, Kane was, you know, he's like, you're unstable, I'm not a boyfriend material type of deal, so it's interesting. But, you know, to me, you know, WWE, you let Daniel Bryan go over, I understand, and believe it or not, he's probably the most interesting guy you got right now, because his whole crazy gimmick, you know, you have him going, oh, look at me, I'm crazy, you know, no, stop saying yes, you know, and whatever, so, you know, it's kind of interesting, but to me, Daniel Bryan should win. Next, you got Ziggler versus Jericho. This could possibly, I could see this being possibly maybe Jericho's last pay-per-view before he goes on Fozzy. He's supposed to go to Fozzy tour pretty soon, so I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, Dolph Ziggler wins. But at the same time, you know, it's an interesting scenario because you have Dolph Ziggler, right? The guy won on Raw, and, you know, he's been, you know, on fire lately, kind of. You know, crowd, you know, likes him. But you bring back Chris Jericho, and obviously Jericho is a guy that's not afraid to let young talent go over him. We've seen it before, time and time again. But Jericho has not won at a pay-per-view, and this is when Ziggler says, "Oh, you can't win the big one." So it's kind of like kind of situation. It's probably gonna be a good match. I can see it being match of the night. But what are you gonna do? You know, you're gonna have Jericho win, and you'll be like, oh well, you know, Ziggler kind of lost his steam to a guy who couldn't win a match, you know, a pay-per-view this whole entire year. Or you have Ziggler win, it's like, oh, Ziggler beat, you know, a guy like Jericho on pay-per-view. This is pretty good. But at the same time, you say, okay, what was the point of bringing Jericho in? Other than, you know, letting him go over, you know, letting young guys go over him. So it's interesting there. But, you know, I could see Ziggler winning this, you know, Vicky kind of getting involved and whatnot, but I could see Ziggler win. And now you got the triple threat match for the WWE Championship. You got CM Punk versus John Cena versus The Big Show. And, honestly, I could see Punk winning this. I know people are saying, oh, Cena's gonna win it, Cena's gonna win it. Honestly, I could see CM Punk winning, maybe, you know, maybe John Cena's the AA on, you know, Big Show. CM Punk knocks, you know, Cena out of the ring and then covers,
you know, Big Show so that he wins it, and then Cena maybe the next night can say, oh, you never faced me. Because let's face it, these guys are going to face each other probably in Night of Champions. Because guess where Night of Champions is at, guys? Boston, Massachusetts. And guess who's from Massachusetts? That's right, your boy John Cena. So, yeah, obviously, you know, it was probably a lot of people predicting. I could see it actually happening. Cena winning the belt at Night of Champions. But as for SummerSlam, I think Punk leaves with the title. And, because honestly, if the Big Show won it, stop trying to make him look unstoppable. Enough said. And then you got the World Heavyweight Championship match. Spoiler alert. Del Rio versus Sheamus. Sheamus is just on a roll. It's like no one could beat this guy. I mean, a lot of people complain about Cena, but you know, you guys got other guys like Sheamus and CM Punk who seem like they lose matches, but that's another story. I think Sheamus will retain. You know, just because I mean, I can't see anyone. The only guy I could possibly see Sheamus losing it to is Randy Orton. Seriously, that's the only one I could see beating Sheamus, and maybe Ziggler whenever he cashes it in, if he does cash it in. Otherwise, I don't see it. You could put Del Rio, you could put Cody Rhodes, you could put, who's another heel? You could put anyone, you know, heel on the SmackDown / I guess you could say Raw roster. And I don't see freaking them beating Sheamus, because Sheamus is just, again, he just seems like I don't know where broke kick, you know what I mean? I don't mind Sheamus, but, you know, the whole broke kick out of nowhere thing, it's kind of getting annoying. And last but not least, you got Gata in the one match versus Triple H, excuse me. He's facing Brock Lesnar in a fight. No Shawn Michaels because he broke his arm. So then you got good old Triple H versus Brock Lesnar. I want Lesnar to win only because it's like, okay, he lost to Cena, and now you possibly want him to face either, you know, The Rock at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship, or face Undertaker, you know, if God forbid Undertaker does, you know, wrestle again next year at Mania, and try 21-0, even though to me he should have stopped at 20-0. I mean, do you really want him to lose against Triple H? I mean, I know this is good, but seriously, no, you don't have him lose, even though I could see it happening easily. You know, because I've said this before, I could see it being kind of like Extreme Rules all over again. You know what I mean? They brawl, whatever, and, you know, it's a good old brawl. It's not too bad. But we're not going to see the 2002 Brock Lesnar. I really do think we're going to, again, see the MMA, you know, UFC Brock Lesnar. And I don't want to see that. I don't think many people want to see, you know, Brock Lesnar, instead of going out with clotheslines and hitting spine busters and power bombs, he goes out there hitting like a Kimura, which according to, you know, a friend of mine who's a, you know, MMA, you know, / UFC fan, who watches that, he's not even doing the Kimura right, and he never did it in UFC. So it's like, what the hell? You know, but, again, I could see Triple H winning this, and whatever, but, you know, overall the show doesn't look too bad. You know, I mean, remember, this is the same, guys, this is the same company last year that had, what, 3 matches on the card? Remember that last year? There were 3 matches on the card, and everyone's like, what the fuck? And then we had all these filler matches, and we're all like, what the hell is this? Remember the tag team match? Yeah. But anyway, that's my predictions for SummerSlam. Again, doesn't look too bad of a show. What do you guys think? Catch y'all later.